Hi guys, welcome back to my channel Lush Foliage. In today's video we are going to be talking about another beautiful philodendron. I'll put up the name on the screen because it's very difficult to pronounce the name. Now you can see it has absolutely beautiful, I don't know if I can call this as green. It's more like neon yellow kind of a leaves. It looks very beautiful. I don't know if it's going to be capturing in the video the same color, but in person the color is very neon type, and this is a very different variety of philodendron. Looks very similar to our lacerum or the radiatum, but the color of the leaves are very different. It's more like a neon yellow and looks absolutely beautiful. Now again guys, this is a juvenile form. The leaves will become even more profound, I would say, because these cuts that you see or the sides that you see will get even more intense as and when it starts to grow. I'll put up the image on the screen so you'll get a fair idea of how this plant tends to look like, and as and when it starts to mature it looks a little bit more on the yellow side. For a lot of people who tend to get confused with the overwatering or underwatering with yellow leaves, this is going to be a little bit confusing because the plant does get quite a lot of yellow leaves, which is the natural color of this plant. So let's talk a little bit in detail, starting off with light. Please don't expose this plant to direct sunlight. The leaves will get easily burnt. It has to be kept in indirect bright light. You can give filtered light, you can give dappled sunlight, you can keep it beneath larger plants, or you can even keep it under the green shade cloth. Now this is a climbing plant, so you can either give a pole. This is very small, so once it starts to grow I will definitely give it a pole, because you can see this is where it starts to kind of grow vertically, so it would require some kind of support. Otherwise the plant will start to fall down. If you have a large tree, you can just attach it towards the tree and it will kind of climb onto it. So offer it indirect bright light. You can grow it indoor but keep it near the windowsill where it gets a good amount of indirect bright light without the sunlight falling onto the leaves. Now talking about the soil mix, now I haven't repotted it yet. This is still in the nursery soil mix, but I felt like the soil mix looks quite good because there's a lot of cocoa peat in this, so the plant will do quite well. Probably after I come back I will be visiting my hometown. So once I come back I'll be doing a repotting. Right now I'm going to leave it as it is because the soil does not look like it's going to be very compact. It's going to retain slight amount of moisture. Apart from that, the soil is well draining. I have done watering twice, so the soil was well draining. The water used to pass through the drain hole, and any which ways I will be away from home, so the cocoa peat will maintain a slight amount of moisture, so the plant can go without watering for a couple of days, because these plants are not drought tolerant. They need even moisture in the soil, so the cocoa peat is definitely going to help it out in retaining that slight amount of moisture. But whenever you see around 1 to 2 inches of the upper layer of soil is dry, go ahead and do a complete watering until the water starts passing through the drain hole. Now talking about the soil mix, once when I repot, probably I'll make a video on it, because I'm going to be using the same soil mix, which is a mix of cocoa peat, garden soil, sand and perlite. They prefer a loose, porous and well draining soil mix. Now talking about fertilizers, during the monsoon season I do not add any fertilizers. I just give the rainwater. Again, during winters we will not be adding any fertilizers. It's going to be the next fertilizing for this plant will be during the next summers, because that's when they will be in their active growing period. Winters the plant kind of slow down its growth, so we do not need to give any fertilizers. Now talking about how to propagate this plant, it is the same process of philodendrons. I'll put the link in the description below. You can check it out. We will have to cut the knots with the aerial roots in order to multiply this plant. Now talking about the temperature and humidity, these are tropical plants. A temperature of 15 degrees Celsius up to 34-35 is going to be absolutely fine. You can grow it outdoor. But if your temperature is very extreme, whether it's during the summers or whether it's during the winters, then move your plant indoor and you can grow it over there. Do not keep it under the air conditioning vent or the heater, because that will again damage the plant. Now talking about, is this plant toxic? Yes, it belongs to the philodendron variety. It is toxic, so ensure you're keeping this plant away from the reach of small children and pets. Other than that, if the leaves are not ingested, if you're just going to keep this plant at a safe distance, it's an absolutely beautiful plant. It is not going to cause any harm. The only harm is if you're going to ingest the leaves or the stem or any part of the leaves. That can be quite dangerous. Apart from that, when you're doing a propagation, ensure you're using gloves, because philodendron sap can be toxic. And if you have sensitive skin, it can even irritate your skin, leading to rash or allergy. So that is something that you have to keep in mind. Apart from that, it's an absolutely beautiful, easy, low maintenance plant. If you are a person who's looking out for a very different color in your garden, then this is one of the plant you can add in your collection, and trust me, it is going to look absolutely beautiful. Right now this is the juvenile form. As I said, it tends to look even more, the leaves tend to get modified even more as and when it starts to grow. So guys, that's all about it. I hope that this video was helpful to you. If it was, please hit the like button, and if you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing to it. Until then, take care, stay safe, and keep planting.